Happy almost 2026, everybody. We're coming to the end of 2025, which means it's time for our annual holiday special. And while we will not be celebrating Wookiee Life Day, although we will probably be mentioning it, we will be reflecting back on the last year of learning 2025 with the Learning Geeks starting now. Hello, boyos.
Hello.
Boyos?
I'm doing the Jar Jar
A boyo
Binks.
sounds like something I have on my foot.
Yeah,
I've
it's
got a boyo on my foot. I have to go and see the doctor.
Misa Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. Hey, oh, boyos.
Hey, boyos.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello.
I did miss Wookiee Life Day at Disneyland this year. We were actually in Chicago.
What did they do for Life Day?
It's actually really fun because it is a complete fan-run event.
That's cool.
A guy who is a Star Wars pal of mine, Sean Crosby, he organizes it every year, and they kind of have a set routine. They do a big processional to the Millennium Falcon, and people have the glowing orbs, and people wear red robes and everything. And then they've written some Life Day carols, where new lyrics to old songs. And then in front of the Millennium Falcon, they take a picture and do lightsaber rally and all that kind of stuff. And then they go in front of you've built a lightsaber, right, Jake?
No.
Oh, you have? Okay.
No, yeah.
In front of the lightsaber building shop, there's a tree, and the tree has ribbons on it. And the storyline is that the people of Batuu, like when they have a wish, they tie their wish on the tree, and then if the ribbon falls off, that means the wish comes true. But it's kind of like the meaningful part. And then they do actually kind of a somber, reflective, like thinking about people that we've lost in the last year and, you know, looking forward to the next year and stuff like that. It's really, it's fun. It's a good way for a bunch of nerds to get together. But yeah. But, you know, the way us learning geeks get together is we talk about what we learned and what we learn to learn in the future.
Yeah.
Data.
Oh, is that what this is about? Yeah.
That's the idea. Yeah.
We've only been doing it for 8 years, Data.
My goodness.
Yeah. You know, when you're retired, you forget stuff.
Okay, what day is it today?
I have no idea. Every day's a Saturday, Jake. Every day's a Saturday.
I know for sure it's Friday.
Oh, okay.
I know for sure it's Friday.
All right.
And actually, you know what? Maybe I'll kick us off because I will talk about one of the things that I learned, which is really, really recent. And that is about the Meta AI glasses phenomenon. Okay. So yesterday, I actually, I had signed up for a demo of the Meta display. So these are the Meta AI glasses. I think most people are probably aware Meta's been selling these AI glasses that take video, or you can use Meta AI. You can like look at something and say, what am I looking at? And it says, you know, like a screen with 3 Learning Geeks on it is what it would say right now if I was using it. You can use it to take pictures, you know, anything else. That's been pretty cool. But Meta just recently released a version that has a display built in.
Oh, so it's right on the glass?
It's right on the glass. Oh. And I wanted to give it a try because, you know, my eyes are weird. I'm nearsighted in one eye and farsighted in the other, and I have a hard time getting my eyes to work together right. And I didn't even know if it would work for me. So I just wanted to see if it would. And the answer is it does work for me, but it's not to the point where I wanted to spend $700 to get a set yet. But I tell you what, because the woman asked me when we did the demo, what was I most excited about? And I said, well, I do corporate learning, and I'm pretty convinced that something like this is really the future of how we're going to do performance support and learning in the moment of apply, to quote our good friends Con and Bob, or, you know, the moment of wrong when something goes wrong, because this is the real deal. It's pretty cool. It worked really, really well. Some of the features that it had on it that I thought were outstanding was it will do live closed captioning for you. So as somebody is speaking,
Ooh, I like
it will
that.
generate a transcript as you go.
And that can it translate languages too,
Yes, it can
probably?
do
Yeah.
that. So right now it only supports, I think, like Spanish and German, but they're rolling, they're going to keep rolling out languages
Yeah.
all the time. Um,
Latvian.
It'll pull
Yeah.
up a map. So like if you're walking somewhere, you'll get a little map in the corner and you can follow the directions. And it's really cool. I
So
thought it was
Bob,
really cool.
you should get a pair for Sherry, and the two of you should go on Amazing Race.
Well, that's an interesting idea.
Ooh.
I would love to go on the Amazing Race, but
And have the glasses. Where are we going? Okay, that's
right.
that place. Turn left, turn right.
But as it is, like I said, I decided they're not quite to the place where I'm ready to invest in it, but I am convinced that this is the future. So this is something both that I've learned about this year and also want to learn a lot more about next year, because I think these things are really going to take off. Meta's going to keep building into them. Oh, I didn't even talk about the neuro band. The way you control this is it's a strap, and you can't see this because we're an audio podcast, but these guys can. You put it on your arm, kind of like below your wrist bone, and it straps on, and then you just use your fingers, and it's able to sense, I don't know how, if it's picking up muscle movement or nerves or anything like that, but like double taps on which finger you scroll through things by like making your index finger the trackpad and moving your thumb up and down, left and
Wow.
right. You adjust the volume or zoom in on things by like grabbing a fake little imaginary dial and then twisting it. Like, it's super cool. It's super
So
cool.
it sounds like that there's a lot of AI integrated into this, but it's
Uh-huh.
seamless.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
which
I
I
can
think is the future of
totally,
AI.
it
More
is.
seamlessness.
And I can totally see a scenario of like real-time support, right? Like we were thinking about your always on AI learning coaching buddy, really blurring the lines between working and learning and focusing on performance.
Hmm.
You could really easily see somebody wearing these and getting prompted on screen with the next point to raise in a sales presentation, or getting live feedback of, hey, you're kind of acting like a jerk, maybe tone it down a little bit, which I would probably get a lot of. That type of stuff. So I was very excited about it. I decided not to buy it. I decided I'm going to go ahead and buy some of the earlier version of the glasses that don't have the display. And they just opened a Meta store in Hollywood. And if you go there, you can get a really cool colorway. So I'm going up there this afternoon when we're done recording, and I'm going to order some transparent.
So just on the VR front,
Yeah,
several years ago we did the Void
we
experiences,
sure did. Yeah.
right? And we had to put the backpacks on, right, that had the computers in. It was kind of heavy duty thing. Well, Julie and I just yesterday went to it was a experience Machu Picchu,
Oh,
Oh,
and
interesting.
it was actually similar. And we had headsets. They were a little heavier than normal,
yeah.
but we didn't have the backpacks.
Okay.
And what had happened is that there was a vacant store at one of the malls up in Salt Lake, and so they turned this into a Machu Picchu type experience. And so we would, they say follow the lines, you follow the yellow lines, and then all of a sudden you're looking out over Machu Picchu, and you can look up and down and all around. You can, kind of step over to the edge and look and see how far it goes down. And
Yeah.
they've got a little narrator that takes you to different parts. And it was 45 minutes. It was pretty immersive. That it was not 4K video, so it was still a little bit, rudimentary that way. But it was interesting. Julie had never done anything like that before, and it was very immersive for what it was. And then you have the shocker right at the end when you pull the glasses off and you go, "Oh, this is just a blank room with
Yeah.
a bunch of other people walking around pointing at things that you don't really exist."
Yeah.
or people looking up and they go, "What are they doing? Crazy."
Well,
But anyway,
location-based VR is bouncing back after the
yeah.
pandemic, and like Sandbox VR is now a chain, and there's a lot. I have not yet experienced that, but there's a lot of those stores around, and I'm seeing more and more ads popping up for different location-based VR, which again just reminds me that for specific uses, immersive
Immersive.
experiences are great for learning and corporate learning. I always think about, remember Dana with And Jake, I'm not sure if you were there, but with Elliot, when we got to do the battleship simulation at Great Lakes
Yeah,
Naval
yeah.
Base,
No, I didn't do that. No.
yeah, it was so cool. Like we got a tour of that, and they do like a 24-hour thing. You're on the ship and it gets attacked, and it's a very realistic simulation.
I mean, you got fire burning at you, and
It's
yeah,
crazy.
it's very realistic.
Super cool.
I think it was 19 different critical incidents or something
Yeah,
like that.
and I think they had Disney Imagineers or former Disney Imagineers work on that.
Yeah.
Really, really great. Like we already knew that worked as a learning modality, but how hard and how expensive is that to do? Much easier to do in VR.
Yeah.
And we need to keep going in that direction.
So Sandbox VR has Stranger Things Catalyst.
They do.
Yeah, a Squid Game one.
Uh-huh.
And apparently there's one in Oak Brook, which is not that far away from me.
Well,
So
there
I
you
did
go.
not
I'll
know
be
that.
back there before you know it, and we will go. That
Go
would
and
be
do
great.
it.
I would totally do it. If you're back, we should do it.
For sure.
So it was interesting because at the end I chatted with one of the guys there, and he said, "Well, in order to get this as realistic as they could, they actually went down and they did lidar scans,
Yeah.
and then he said they took hundreds of thousands of still images, and then sewed them all together, and they were able to do things there that you wouldn't be able to do in real life, like they took you underground and they took you." Along with some of the mythology that went along. So you had a dragon flying through the sky at one point. And so, again, things you wouldn't normally get if you actually went to Machu Picchu. But it was also only $35. So
Yeah, exactly.
you get the mythology and it's only 45 minutes. And
That's great.
But it was, so anyway, yeah,
Awesome.
I think we're still trying to figure out the role of VR, but I think you're right. I mean, all of this stuff continues to emerge, and we've been talking about it for years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So that's very cool.
Yeah, do not let the anti-metaverse sentiment steer you away from real, legitimate opportunities to add some value and get some great learning in with immersive experiences.
I mean,
And they bring emotion, right? I mean, those experiences bring emotion, and they didn't have smells and breezes like you had with the with when we did the Star Wars Void experience, and you stepped out of the elevator on the volcano planet, and all of a sudden the heaters turned on, and you're like, whoa,
so
felt
cool.
very
it
authentic.
was really cool. Very
They didn't
memorable.
have this stuff, but it was very good. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it brings out the emotions, and you feel like to some degree you've been there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about HoloLens. Remember that, and how different it is, though. Bob, I haven't tried, of course, Meta's glasses, but I can.
Yeah.
Like just the difference from what it was, 9 years ago, to what it is now is pretty impressive, and it sounds like it's getting closer and closer to some of those demo videos that the reels that you would get, the promotional videos of the what if kind of videos from Meta and whatever it was, it was Microsoft and others then. Like it's pretty cool. Like it's getting closer and closer.
The Meta display, I would say quality wise is as good, if not better, than the HoloLens of 4 or 5 years ago when I had one for a little while to experiment with. But one significance is they're not trying to make it like true augmented reality. They're not trying to superimpose things onto the environment as if it's there. I guess that would be blended reality or extended reality. Like the definition's always eluded me. But for having a little display that shows up in front of your eyes, it feels like it's floating about 3 feet in front of you. And it's completely undetectable by anybody else.
Oh.
Like, I looked at myself in the mirror with the display up, could not see it in the mirror. So,
could you see yourself? Bob's disappeared. Where did I go?
I know. It was freaky. I lost a ton of weight, like really quick.
Well, as long as I've been chatting, how about if I just mention a couple
please do.
things
Yep,
on a
just gonna
different
ask you.
topic?
Yep.
So, one of the things that I've been reflecting on and is that I'm reminded of why I spent 40 years in the learning and leadership development area. And the conclusion I came to is pretty high level, but when you can dive down deep into it, but everybody in our profession, their focus is on helping people be better versions of themselves, right? Sometimes in small ways, sometimes in big ways. So we don't just build important skills. We help people transition to more meaningful work, more important work. We help people gain confidence in the skills they have. And sometimes that confidence and that skill building sometimes leads to more career opportunities or a job transition or additional compensation or a variety of things like that. And then if you carry this far enough, it can also impact them in their personal lives and in their family lives. So, I mean, the ripple effect that people in the learning and leadership development function can have really helps, and maybe I'm fantasizing a little bit because I'm not day to day doing all the stuff you guys are doing, but it can really help communities be better,
Mm-hmm.
just because we're touching human lives in ways that can make a big difference. So
So,
I'll let you comment on that, and then I've got another little angle I want to throw up.
well, I love that, Dana, and actually, I feel like I got a nice clip of a video that I can use for our promo of this episode. But one of my favorite lines that I wrote within our trends perspective that we did
Yeah,
this year, and we had Jessica Glazer on this year
right.
for one of our guests. And I've used it a couple times, and that is development is the greatest act of care you can have on an employee.
Yeah,
It's not,
I like it.
there could be others, but it's one of the greatest acts of care you can have. And it aligns with what you're sharing, and it's aspirational. It feels like what you're saying feels really good, and I think it opens up the door of what we can do and support more for the individual.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I like
agree
Yeah,
with
it.
that.
so the additional angle I was going to throw at that, if when that's your goal, what it leads to is all kinds of really fun discussions, like how do we innovate in learning, right? How do we blend neuroscience into learning? How do we take wellness, what we know about wellness, and
Mm-hmm.
help people be better in that area? And how do we change the design of courses? How do we measure things? All kinds of you can have all kinds of fun discussions in that space. And if you keep your eye on the prize, which is helping people be a better version of themselves, then your own career is going to be really satisfactory.
Yeah. This is what I've realized as I've been teaching workshops at work in using AI and using agentic AI and building little agents. And, the official course materials that we have some scenarios for different agents that you can build and things like that. And when I teach that class, I encourage people only do one of those scenarios if you can't think of anything else. But I want you to think about what is something that is part of your actual work that is ultra time consuming or just like drains your soul
I was gonna say soul
when you
sucking.
have to
I
do
think
it.
you
Yeah,
used
I
that
say look for
before.
yeah,
time sucks and
yeah,
soul
yeah.
sucks and see if you can build an agent that will actually offload some of that work, make that work easier for you.
So you're making them be a better version of themselves.
Right,
Yeah.
because the pitch then is, hey, don't learn this because the company wants you to. Learn this because the company, and it's not just our company, it's every company out there right now, especially since the
Hmm.
pandemic. Every company is asking us all to do more with less. It's continually, you need to do more with less. But the only lever that people have to pull when you're doing more with less is to work harder and burn themselves out. And I just
Yeah.
see that left and right.
Hmm.
And when this is what, because I had spent a year and a half just worried about how do I help other people use AI without even trying, like, what can I do for myself?
Yeah.
And I finally did that in September when I got our team together and we did our summit. And I was like, let's build agents that are going to help us with our work. And I built our durable learning agent that essentially takes the rubric that you two guys built back in the early days of durable learning and assesses it against a course design and says,
Oh,
hey, your
perfect.
engagement is going to be high over here, but your social is low. And here's some ideas on how to do it. And it works so well. It works so great. And,
Awesome.
it's like by leveraging that, I don't have to spend so much time doing it. I have to look at what it says. I have to update. I have to revise it. There's some things that it gets wrong, but it sure reduces the effort to create an assessment. And now I can spend time doing what I love. I can,
Yeah.
Yeah.
play pinball or hang out with my family.
It's
Or
funny.
or record a
Or
podcast.
record a podcast. It's
Yeah.
funny. It's funny about with that rubric. I
Yeah.
actually thought about 2 weeks ago because I wish I had it as a document form because I wanted to upload it into a training or to an agent, and so I could use it.
Yeah.
Because that's what I thought of. I'm like, because that's the rubrics are great for solving so much of or saving so much of your
Yeah,
time.
and we put a lot of effort into that, right?
Yeah.
And it tweaked it over time, and
Yeah. Neither of you guys can have it. I'm sorry.
No, I know.
It's proprietary.
It's gone. All the work.
But although I wrote a bunch of it into an ATD thing before I left,
Hey,
and with the affirmation that I could do it from our CLO. So
which I bought and I have in my drawer.
And that document has been loaded into BobBot 3000, which is another thing I built. I built the agent and I uploaded all of my favorite stuff and everything I believe in into it. And now it's a digital twin.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Does it play pinball very well?
It doesn't. But, my boss yesterday was like, something I did. She's like, hey, I want to, I'm going to put in recognition for you about this. I'm like, well, if you have to do everything, get me, get Caroline, get Lisa, get Ben, and also get BobBot 3000, because we're supposed to consider our AI, as coworkers, as team workers. So tell BobBot 3000, she's like, I don't think there's a way that we can do that with the recognition system. I'm like, well, I'll tell it. So said, Erica thinks you did a good job. It's like, oh, that's great. Tell Erica, thank you. Here's like 18 different ways you could leverage this to your career advantage. Oh, it's funny. So, wow. Jake, what else highlights your year in learning of 2025?
Before I go there, Dana, did you have another one? I feel like you had. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, I always have more stuff, but it's your turn to talk.
Okay. Well, I listed down two fun ones. I learned what my two girls' tolerance is with sports this year.
Playing or watching?
Watching. Okay. I don't know why I did this or what happened this year, but for listeners, when it comes to sports, like on the side, yes, I'm a big nerd when it comes to Star Wars and things like that. But I am a huge Bears fan, Chicago Bears fan, which is American football. I like baseball as well, but not as much as I used to. But this year I decided I really want to go and do an eight game ticket pass for the Cubs, so for the Chicago Cubs. So I was in Wrigley Field a lot this year. And then I dragged my girls to about 4 or 5 games this year. So they got to do that. And then I brought them to the family fest that the Bears do at the beginning of the season, so you can watch them practice at Soldier Field. But anyway, it's been fun. It's been fun to hang out with the girls in the city environment, going to games, parking in really odd, unique locations to walk to the game, and then see how long they will last before they're ready to get the heck out of there. But I would have to say that they are pretty good. And so anyway, that was a fun one for me. The other one, right in the green room, we were talking about the game Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. One thing that I learned about myself is I figured out how to incorporate games back into my life in the last, I would say, couple months. I've had an Xbox for a long time. I've done PC games. I've done all this stuff. But I think ever since the kids were little and kids were born, I really just didn't get to play that much. So it's almost like habit stacking. The one thing I did is I moved my Xbox up to my main room where we're always in, and I put a controller on the table in front of me. And Erica was okay with me leaving it there because that was the other problem. But now when I see it, I'm like, ooh, I want to play games again. So that was one thing I learned kind of using the habit stack. And this one kind of leads to BobBot 3000.
Yeah.
I've learned how to amplify the way that I journal and develop emerging perspectives using AI. So what I have a folder. I don't have an agent. I don't have like a bot. I haven't created like a custom GPT. I have, but I found that I don't use them as often. I tend to use different ways because I always have different ideas and things I want to use it for. But I do have a folder that I keep of handy files that I always pull from. So I have like an about me file. I have, here are my learning goals for right now. Here are my here's what my team does. Here's some of the priorities that we're working on, projects that we're doing. I can always give it context. And honestly, even in ChatGPT in the enterprise version, you can do projects, like a project, which is that's been helpful. I just upload it to everything in that project, and then I have all the conversations. But I got feedback late last year that some of my when I had to do off the cuff perspectives from someone on a call, it took me a while. I had to think. I may have stuttered, but it's also because I didn't have time yet to think about it. And now with AI, with these methods, I've been able to develop perspectives much faster by just saying, hey, here are all my thoughts, write everything down very unstructuredly. It will take what it knows about me, where the vision is, the goals I have, and then it will say, is this what you're thinking? Yeah. And then I'm like, that's it. Or I would tweak it and play around with it. But it has helped me tremendously, like, create faster perspectives. And Bob knows this, Dana knows this, but like in our role, we often get pulled into calls, pulled into client calls, pulled into everything of what's your view on X, what's your view on Y, and you're expected to have some type of perspective on it. So anyway, that has been my how to do that effectively and use it often and constantly. And again, it's helped. So that's been my fun one.
I would love to do some research because, and I'm not going, I would love somebody else to do some research that I can read. The famous study that came out last year that said, we're creating brain rot. People are not, their critical thinking ability is deteriorating with their use of AI. Mm-hmm. And I really believe, it's not the AI, it's the fact that it's fairly easy using AI to offload critical thinking and not practice it. And
it's often to skip the cognitive steps.
If you lose it, if you use it, if you don't use it, you lose it. And I think actually with an appropriate use of AI, I would like to see if it would actually increase cognitive gain because, doing the type of approach that you're talking about, Jake, where it's an augment, don't abdicate. Here's some initial ideas. What do you think? React to that, change things, postulate new things. I think it might actually be more beneficial to your cognitive processes than just starting from scratch.
If we had access to Alexandria Papston, the stuff she used to do, and with Alex, that would be a really good research project.
I will share. This is kind of real time, and we're sharing this, but I will share a research paper I just read. It's called Coach Not Crutch, AI Assistance Can Enhance Rather Than Hinder Skill Development.
Mm-hmm. So they took I'm glad that somebody has done the research.
So they took a study, but they focused on communication-based skills. And they were very clear that this doesn't mean and declare that it's only going to be AI can enhance. But a lot of the language that I read and what they've uncovered is very much what you figured out or you're thinking about, Bob.
Yeah. Yep.
And to me personally, as I've shared with members on our team or to whoever I'm talking with, I go, when used correctly, you have way more access to feedback loops than you ever did. And again, if you intentionally take the feedback, think about what it's modeling you, like there's a lot of learning that can happen. If you're if you're intentionally using it, you're spending the time, you're not skipping it to just get to, okay, great. Let me get to what I need to move on. You're not skipping those cognitive steps. But I will share that one on.
That'd be great. Yeah. Because I agree that one of the best applications of AI for learning is going to be to get feedback at scale, right? Like we would love to design learning experiences where we have 100 people putting out a deliverable and then being able to give them really good, solid feedback on those deliverables. And you just can't do it. You can't scale it unless you have 100 instructors for every person. But with AI, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you could take your bot that teaches people durable learning and take it to a class on learning design and have them run their designs through it. And
you can do it with small steps too, because I signed on as part of a storytelling workshop that I was facilitating, where I would encourage people to videotape themselves telling a story that they had developed, and I would give them feedback on it. And I very quickly began to regret it because holy cow, that backlist piles up very quickly. And what I did was I made a little agent. And when I say agent, it's not really agentic. It's a GPT.
Yeah.
It's a gem, whatever you want to call it. But I just taught it to, if I was sitting there interacting with this agent while I was watching the video of the person speaking, I could type a plus and write in something nice. I could put a negative and write in something that they needed to develop, just shorthand. And then it would take that and it would give me a draft of a really nice letter to send back to them with the feedback.
Wow.
I could tweak it a little bit and go. But now the review cycle has gone from being, 20 minutes past the amount of time it takes to watch the video to the amount of time it takes to watch the video plus about 2 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. A better version of yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like
So what are we looking forward to next year? What do we think is going to come in 2026? I'm ready for 2025 to be done. I don't know about you all.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I'm ready for 2027 already. I'm just skipping 2026.
Hopefully
I
that
could go
won't
first, since if you want to go the other way. I got two things. One, you were just talking about actually agentic, and mine is on multi-agent, agentic, looking more in the how to develop it, which is going to require more coding and so forth. So I kind of want to get a little technical in that and explore it. I'm not going to be an expert at it, but play around, dabble. There's some courses that some of our team members offer that I might take. But yeah, I think that would be a fun one. The other one is, and I don't know the right term, and I'm sure some data engineer person would probably laugh at what I'm saying, and that is data architectural design. Kind of think about if we're really truly talking about all this data that exists across all these different platforms and owners and so forth, how do you design the architecture within the background to then use that data in a way that makes people better, right? Brings bring the best out of people. So something I think I've only done just in concept, but it would be great to learn from some experts on it, what it actually takes.
Nice.
Dana, what about you?
What about you, Dana?
2026, I haven't given a whole lot of thought, but I can say this much. I can say that part of, and this relates to my earlier comments, part of what I intend to do is to continue to engage with the learning community in a variety of ways. There's a couple of opportunities that are out there already we're taking advantage of, and maybe I'll write another chapter for another book, or I don't know exactly what it'll be, but part of the reason that I like to do what I do, even in many cases I'm not getting paid for, which is just fine, is because I feel like I'm helping people be better versions of themselves. And anytime I can engage in that type of work, that's great. So I'll be looking for more opportunities in 2026 to be able to do that and hang out with you guys some more.
I think we got a title for this episode. Holiday special, better versions of ourselves.
Oh, I love it. You could have AI generate a picture of us, like, as robot rock stars or something like that. I don't know. It'd be amazing.
Hey, Bob, before we hear from you on yours, when you were talking about the new AI glasses, I did have to think about Wesley Crusher. Right, from the old Star Trek. Remember that episode where he put on the glasses? Everybody was playing a game and he was the only one resisting, and you had to have these special glasses and everybody's encouraging everybody else. Turns out the aliens were trying to take over their brains.
Yeah.
He saved the episode, but
the Wesley Crusher years of Next Generation were burdensome to a certain extent. David Chestnut is now going to hunt me down and kill me. Sorry, David. Love you, still love Star Trek. But that actually kind of leads to what I think I want to focus on next year is I want to really figure out for myself how I can use social media in a very positive way and not let the negative aspects of it detract from the positive parts. Because I feel like I have been all or nothing. I can either be consumed with it and just hanging on the dopamine rush of every little, red number that shows up that says I got a hit or a like on Facebook or something like that. And my only alternative has been just to completely shut it down. But I've realized largely through like, you know, I don't know if I've really talked about it that much on this podcast, but as I've plugged in more to the pinball community, like it's all on social media where that's happening. And I'm connecting with real people, making friends. You know, it was great this summer when I was in Chicago for Pinball Expo to meet all these people who were buddies on Facebook and meet face to face and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, well, this is what social media is about. And I know that I need to get better about using LinkedIn, but oh my gosh, I go to LinkedIn and it just like, I don't like being there. So I'm like, how do I isolate myself from the negative parts and not contribute to the negative aspects of social media, but be able to leverage it in a positive way? Because I think it can do good. We don't have to be cynical about it.
I do have a question. How many of your colleagues on the pinball social media realm have the name Tommy?
I don't know not one.
You don't really? There's not one Tommy
No.
the Pinball Wizard?
No, but you know, in the pinball community,
Jake, do you get the joke or not?
yes, Jake does.
Okay, just checking.
Right?
I was right when you asked that question. I was like, "Wait, where is this going?"
Yeah.
I had to fold some type of a joke in there.
Yeah, but funny enough is in the pinball community, I go by Bobby G, because we have another guy in my pinball league who is Bob, Dr. Bob the chiropractor. He's a really nice guy, really fun guy.
Yeah,
but people were getting confused when they heard Bob, so I'm like, just call me Bobby G. People call me Bobby G. So that's my online presence now.
Jake.
Well, sometimes you just say stuff, and it just goes in and out. And then that one took me 3 seconds. So like, oh wait, that cracks me. Because I was in my head, I was thinking, when's Dana gonna say some chiropractic joke?
Oh
man, he's gonna love it. Guys, we're at the end of our time. So
that's too bad.
You know, again, this was fun, and to get all schmaltzy, doing this is a highlight of my life. And so love you guys, love doing this all the time. It's great.
Same here.
And, you know, to all our listeners for actually being part of our little community and encouraging us. It's always so fun to run into people who,
it's still very fun to run into people I still remember, was it last year? I was at a panel and someone didn't realize that I was Jake from the Learning Geeks, and they said, your voice sounds very familiar, and then like they had the connection right there, like, oh my gosh, we listen to your show, or my team listens to the show. It's in this way, the way that we do it, it sometimes feels very passive. It's just us talking and we're sharing and we post it up. But it is cool when you get to actually talk with people who are listening. So thank you.
And we have a good list of guests lined up for next season. So
we do. And
it'll be awesome.
Growing. It's going to be awesome. It'll be the best year yet. So
our live show.
Yep. Yes, live show coming up.
That's right.
At South by Southwest. So register for that. If you show up just for the Learning Geeks, Dana said he will autograph your program.
I will.
Because I know it's only Dana's signature that people really want. But
it looks like a doctor writing a prescription. So.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this holiday special. Thank you, Jake and Dana. Thank you, listeners. We love you guys. Have a great end of 2025, and we'll see you again in 2026.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.